In this video, I'm going to show you another tip on how you can make your website faster by eliminating your website's dependencies on remote files and scripts. This is the web page that corresponds to this video. The URL to it is on your screen. When a visitor or a search engine visits your website, a request is made for that web page, and that web page is made up of a number of objects, including text, images, videos, and scripts. And before your web page can finish loading, and the Google PageSpeed Insight score is based upon when your page has finished loading and is actually scrollable and usable by the user, the more of these things that your web page has to load before it completes loading makes it slower. But one thing that makes it even slower is if these items and objects that your web page is dependent upon are external. And the more external resources that your web page is dependent on, the slower your website's going to be, or the slower your web page is going to be, because not only does your web page have to load the scripts and files that reside on your own website server, but now the web server or the web page has to make a request to a remote site. And so you are, you know how they say a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. So your web page can only be as fast as the slowest script. I guess the best analogy I could think of is, imagine you want to increase the speed or decrease the time it takes for you to drive to work. And there's a lot of things you have to consider. The amount of traffic, the route you're going to take, how fast your car is. Well, external scripts are like you having to stop at different addresses to pick up other people to go with you to work. Eliminate these and you'll decrease the time it takes for you to get to work. Hopefully that makes some sense to you. The way you can view the number of external scripts that your website or web page is dependent upon is simply go to the web page, make sure your mouse isn't over an image or a video or an ad, like right click it, view page source, and then when the source loads, press Control F on your keyboard, type src equals, and here you see the number is 240, which is a lot. But more important than the number is if those dependencies on scripts are external or not. Now you see this site is alpha.com. See, here's a dependency on a script that's outside the website. And any source that you see that's dependent on anything outside of alpha.com, in this particular case, the slower the site's going to be. Now, it's pretty difficult to go into great detail to tell you how to remove your dependencies on remote files or scripts without being able to view your website in particular. Basic tips for this include: download these external resources and host them on your web server. Whether they're JavaScripts or whatnot, you should be able to, like I just showed you, right-click View Source, and then click on the link to the remote source, download that script to your own website, and then link to it that way. Eliminate that script altogether. I mean, does your website really need some of the, fancy things that it has to make it look all fancy and great and may impress your friends? But I think it's more important that you impress your website's visitors in Google. And a fast loading web page, it's easy to use, is the way you impress them. You could also read our article on delaying the loading of external resources if you have to depend upon an external resource. Just scroll to the bottom of this page. There'll be a list of various things you can do to increase the speed of your website.